Welcome, everybody, to Ted Investigates. We're going to be streaming JLR Investigates here. We have on the ticker. So please subscribe to JLR. We're going to be sharing a screen. He's in front of Nancy Guthrie's house. We'd like to see some of his updates. He does an incredible job. Love working and watching his live streams. He's phenomenal. We're on it right now.
Luke.
See what JLR is cooking.
I don't think Luke's involved. Really don't.
Hope everyone had a
go
good
home.
Saturday.
That's the plan here. Tomorrow, if nothing breaks.
I'm really interested in that restaurant too. I really want to know if Nancy Guthrie is part of that restaurant. Where they were searching that restaurant. A few of you the other day said people came out and were checking that out. I'm real interested in that. So we'll see.
Manhunt underway.
Manhunt is underway for sure. I'm going to reply back to some emails. We're going to be going through this.
Day 43.
But yeah, so right now we're restreaming JLR. I got him on the little ticker there.
Where is Nancy Guthrie?
We are in Tucson, Arizona. He is JLR Investigates.
Day 43. I thought it was going to be Friday the 13th.
We're going to be going through some interactive maps today. We're also going to be going through the restaurant tip. We're going to be taking a little bit closer look in the restaurant that she went to, the church group. I think they have one person. One of my sources told me they have one person right now that's under that's being spoken to. I don't know if he's actually being interrogated or was just questioned. But right now, good morning, everybody. Let me just say good morning, everybody. Yeah, so just kind of following around JLR for a little bit, see what he's got cooking this morning. There's a lot of people that have been out there. Yep, it makes sure. Yep, that makes sense. Texas woman.
Hello from Australia.
He's been out there for 43 days. He's been busting his butt. He's been doing everything he can. It's amazing he's been out there that long. He should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for how many days he's been out there. We got permission to restream his channel, so we'd like to stream it, see what he's up to, but then we'll go over the interactive maps. Yesterday, we had a lot of people on the show talk about some really good tips that they had. So it'll be interesting. But right now, we're just viewing a little bit of JLR. Say good morning, everybody. Wonder where he's at. Yep, definitely much respect. Let me check some of my sources real quick. See what we have. Might be a little bit of a slower day. A little slower today.
Not reached out to Annie or Savannah in any way, shape, or form.
Hold on a second. I'm just checking all the emails.
But I've said on the channel, if they would like to speak, you can.
A lot of people were talking about a restaurant, about Nancy visiting one of her favorite restaurants, that there could be somebody there. Let's see.
But we'll talk if anyone reaches out to me.
Well, the internet's a little slow. Just give it a second here.
I can't imagine if any of them are getting calls, but I personally wouldn't contact them because the feds are probably watching all their monitoring, all their communications, and anyone harasses them.
Banfield like talking about Sheriff Nano's first press conference versus recent with NBC.
Right?
Let's read this to everybody. So basically, Ashley Banfield got kind of caught up a little bit. She said, since day one, you've known since day one what the suspect was doing there, and there's a concern to the public. Why did my source tell me what your focus was on day one? She's taking a little bit of heat. She's close friends with Savannah.
There's a dog barking. Is that coming from his house?
Well, I'm checking more of my sources.
Nothing. No loot.
Yeah, I know. He really
No.
has.
Annie's neighbors going to church.
Yeah, so they have the two people that they're looking into the church.
Annie's neighbor said they'd like to meet today.
St. Andrew's Church,
So
the
maybe I'll hit him up
Presbyterian
when he gets
Church,
done his church.
virtual church online in Tucson. That's who they're looking at. Not
He's
gonna
watching.
name who, but that's if you want to Google the page, it's St. Andrew's Church. So the El Charro restaurant, El Charro, everyone, I'll put it in there. El Charro was one of the restaurants that someone yesterday said on my channel brought to my attention. A worker at El Charro. We're going to be going over interactive maps too, but I just wanted to catch up with JLR. As you notice on the ticker, subscribe to JLR if you haven't. I'm sure you already have, but any super chats, obviously go to JLR. Please don't super chat my channel. We had someone do that the other day, and then I gave him the super chat because they were asking JLR the question to me. So just make sure super chats go to him when we're restreaming his live. Well, he has the Gabby Petito. He did really good. He got a lot of ratings, which again, Nancy, I'm not trying to discredit Nancy, but the Gabby Petito case, he had a ton of ratings. I mean, he was outside for 30 days in front of Gabby Petito's Brian Laundrie's house, parents. Okay, let's see the different. 1 second. I'm going to take a picture of this for everybody. It's a screenshot. This is what the restaurant looks like that they've been kind of looking at. I wanted to show everybody. Oh, good morning from Bakersfield. Awesome. So this is the El Charro restaurant that people have been thinking that there could have been. They're interviewing someone there. Does this look familiar for everyone? Has anybody heard about this theory about the restaurant that Nancy would go to like once a week? Oh, good morning, Grandma Lady. I'm from Choppy. Cool. So that is the Sabaro. El Charro is the restaurant. I'm going to Google real quick. Let's go back to JLR. Well, actually, he's just talking about what he's eating. 1 second. Let me do a little bit more research. I got a couple emails from you guys, from viewers. Video to consider. Someone sent me a video. Just a second. Let's see.
All right, so I'll talk about something with Guthrie here.
That's a great question. I can send him a text. Yeah, Mexican food is excellent. Let me look up what my sources say. El Charro. 1 second. Let me look up El Charro Restaurant. I guess we went there yesterday. The FBI was there for 2 days. Questioned here. Wait, I'm finding more information on this. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. Just give me 1 second.
Mac joining us tonight. Dave Mack, I want to hear first about the FBI going to a Mexican restaurant and re-interrogating restaurant workers. Now, it's my understanding there are 2 restaurants in question. One is a restaurant to which we can attribute the glove that had DNA that was found a little over 2 miles away from Nancy Guthrie's home. There's that restaurant in play, and there is the restaurant that was featured in the Today Show segment. Let's see that as we're talking. It was called an Arizona Homecoming, as I recall, and Savannah went home to visit her family. And while there, she and her mom and I think Sister Annie went to their favorite Mexican restaurant. And this is that segment, Savannah's Arizona Homecoming. It's the El Charro Cafe.
The El Charro.
And this is my friends at Today. I believe it's this restaurant, not the one connected innocently, I might add, to the glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home. Is that right, Dave? It's this restaurant, the Today Show restaurant?
That's my understanding, Nancy. The Today Show filmed Nancy and her family eating out and having a good time as a family. But the FBI investigators were back there interviewing workers who were present the day the Today Show they were filming. And they're asking them specific questions about people that were there the day of the shoot. Was there anybody acting oddly? Was there a fan that seemed overly, trying to contact with Savannah and touching and talking? There was a lot of asking about what took place that day, who was there, and how did they act? Anybody weird? Anybody stand out?
So
That's what they're asking, Nancy.
And I want to nail down, Dave Mack, when did the re-questioning occurred?
Yesterday and the day before.
Wow, yesterday the re-questioning occurred.
So they spent 2 days back at this restaurant. That video from our friends at Today. Now,
okay, this was just a small segment. Let me do a little bit more digging about this El Charro restaurant. In the meantime, we'll go back to JLR. Sorry, folks. All right, let's see. Morning from Ohio. Hey. Okay, so I'm gonna keep looking at while we're watching JLR. I'm gonna look for some other connections here on this El Charro Mexican restaurant. Let's see, Nancy Grace here. She's eating there. Charro, let's see if there's any. Let's see, Nancy. See if we can find the Today Show thing. Okay, let's look at the Arizona homecoming of it. Ohio, yeah, I love Ohio now. There's more people JLR is talking to a quail. It's so cute. I love how many Ohio people are in this chat. It was crazy. I think yesterday we had like 100 people out of the 200 watching that were all from Ohio. It was just amazing how the algorithm, you never know where it comes from. But let me add this real quick. Yeah, I know I'm finding. So, Mary, right now we're looking at the updates for El Charro restaurant. The FBI came back a few days ago and we're interviewing employees. JLR actually was there too. Hey, Hydro Quebec, what's up? So let's go to this restaurant again really quick. We're kind of bouncing around different things. Is that it? Let me see. Let's go here.
Home is as stunning a place as Tucson, Arizona, where the
Yeah,
sunset
Tucson's
paints
beautiful,
the
huh?
sky every single night, and every cactus is an old friend. Prickly pear, saguaro. This is the jumping cholla, because if you walk past it and brush it, it jumps out at you. Or, in some cases, friends.
No, Florida's a beautiful place to be.
Still sharp. But Tucson is more than its breathtaking landscape. It's a vibrant community and canvas.
He said the pants are gone.
Hi, Joe. I'm Savannah Guthrie. Nice to meet you. This is beautiful.
Thanks.
Joe Padgett has transformed Tucson one wall at a time, turning bland buildings into colorful celebrations of desert life and culture.
Just gonna do a little arc like that.
It's like a great restaurant.
I'm leaving my mark on Tucson.
That's a finished Gila monster tail.
And speaking of desert creatures, no trip to Tucson is complete without visiting the Arizona Sonora
Grace is also
Desert
gone. There's no
Museum.
footprints.
A frequent elementary school field trip for me. It's home to hundreds of animals native to the Sonoran Desert, like javelinas, those wild rascals that were always knocking over our trash cans growing up, and a brand new bouncing baby.
This is our porcupine pine
What
cone
brace?
who actually came to us from New York.
After weeks in quarantine, he's making his big debut with us. Honey, I'm bringing home a pet. But it was all just a warm-up for Klaus.
He's about as close to a flying puppy as you can get.
Okay.
So
Woman, 53, dies in hometown, felled by ferocious puppy owl. Klaus. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
So this is Klaus.
Hi, Klaus.
Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Okay.
Hey, Klaus, well, it's nice to meet you and everything. Okay. Oh, bye.
Overcoming your fears.
Yes, you did fantastic. You did fantastic.
And speaking of girls gone wild, Tucson is also where I went to college. I can't believe it. I'm back. This is my alma mater, the University of Arizona. It's just as beautiful and sunny as it ever was. And I want to meet some real students of today.
I thought this was on El Charro, but we'll watch this. It's interesting.
No. I know just where to go. Knock, knock. Mr. President.
Hey,
Hi.
Savannah.
Yeah,
Great to see you. Just reading about you.
Oh my gosh.
There are
I'm
footprints
so
where?
glad to be back in
Great to
Tucson.
see you.
I'm a hugger. This is home.
That's fantastic.
Where-
We're so happy you're back.
Where are all the students?
You remember them all.
Yes.
Welcome home.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
I'm here, but where is everybody?
Welcome back home, Savannah.
I think this is my sorority house. I think this is the Pi-Fi house. I gotta go. Hello? Anybody home? Hello? Yes. Oh, hi. Hi, I'm Savannah Guthrie. Pi-Fi, lunch class 90. 1 second.
You might want to back up a little bit.
Back in my day, we just did the secret handshake. Now, they have a viral TikTok dance.
I think waking somebody up in the middle of the night with a pacemaker in a ski mask is a recipe for a disaster for someone with a heart condition. But I hope she's okay. But that's it'll really go through your heart. That's that'll take a toll on your heart, unfortunately.
The most amazing emerging leaders, and I'm just so proud of all of them.
Well, it's so fun to be back here. It's been a long, long time.
Actually, we did find something of yours. We have a little surprise for you.
Okay. I remember this. This used to hang on the wall.
Yeah, it still does.
Big hair, don't care. Okay, let's see.
There you are. Yep.
Let me look up El Charo again. Once this is over, I thought I was searching El Charo
Thank you so
restaurant.
much for having me. I've had the best time. Should we do one more cheer before I go?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1. But by far my favorite part about Tucson is family. El Charo is the oldest family-owned Mexican
Oh, here we
restaurant
go.
in America and the perfect place to catch up with mine, my mom Nancy and sister Annie. I come here every time I come home to Tucson. I have to come to El Charo. How long has El Charo been here?
103 years.
Carlota Flores has run El Charo for over 50 years, taking over from her great aunt Monica, the woman who's said to have invented the chimichanga. She treated us to a tradition from back in
This looks
Prohibition, when
delicious.
women playing
Such a
cards
sad story.
would hide their tequila in teacups. Cheers! Cheers! I love being home. Don't drink the whole thing. Well, Mom, you guys came here in the 70s and you'd been moving all around. What made you want to stay in Tucson and plant roots?
It's so wonderful. Just the air, the quality of life is laid back and gentle. Yeah, I like to watch the javelina eat my plants.
But the best thing about Tucson is coming home and
Yes.
seeing you guys. Should we raise a glass? Prickly pear margarita. Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you.
Love you.
From the love of family to the familiar beauty of the scenery, I will always be a daughter of the desert.
Okay, let's go on to the next thing here. But yeah, Sunflower Lola, I'll be there on, I will be there Sunday. So I'll be in Chicago on Saturday and they'll be there on Sunday, which is about 2.5 hours out. All right, let's see. Go back to, as I look, we'll go back to JLR for a minute. Just give me a second here. As we start hunting for more stuff to show. I got my, I actually got like my full interview get up here. I'll show you. For Delphi. So I don't know how to put these on yet, but this is what I'll go door to door with, like Elvis Fields' house. You know, the suspect that said he admitted to murdering the girls. So I'll be able to question everybody. Got to get in touch with Noe. But here, this is here's JLR's stream as I continue to look for links on the El Charo restaurant and some of the other sources that I'm chasing down. Oh, no problem. Yeah, it was kind of challenging because we were already 13 hours headed that way. So it was the last 2 hours of the trip, and then we had to turn around. And I was with some of my buddies that were going with me, so it was tough to turn around with two hours left, but we had to. I think we were by I don't know, maybe by Crown Point, if that makes sense. I think Crown Point. Okay, just give me a second. Well, let me make him on the bigger screen. Check out where, I don't know what he might be just checking out some areas. Okay, I guess if everybody can hear me, I guess according to the New York Post, The FBI reportedly quizzes workers at Mexican eatery where Nancy Guthrie filmed today's segment, El Charro. FBI agents have reportedly quizzed employees at the Mexican restaurant where Nancy Guthrie filmed the Today Show segment with daughter 6 months before, just months before she was kidnapped. Wow, so she did this just a few months before she was kidnapped. Federal agents showed up at the restaurant to ask if they recalled seeing anything suspicious. Brian Enton was there. In addition to any dodgy characters, Enton claimed workers were also asked if there was anyone who wanted to take pictures or who got angry or who was lingering around in a creepy way. It wasn't immediately clear if workers passed any valuable details to investigators. The restaurant was one of several places featured in the October segment that the feds have returned as the hunting for the missing grandmother has continued, Enton said. El Charro Cafe is a historic downtown place. I mean, it looks wonderful to eat at. It's been around 100 years. Perfect. Let's see what he's saying. Maybe I got it on.
They took it. Whoa. Maybe the perp took it. Did law enforcement take it? They came. Good. Clip this. Somebody clip this and share on. Matter of fact, I gotta go get my other phone and take a picture. We have to go back to my vehicle. Should have brought my other phone. They took it. Somebody took it. Hopefully it was law enforcement. Maybe it was somebody else. Maybe there was the perp. Took it. Hold on. Go back over here. Get my phone. I gotta take a picture of that. Someone took it. The pants are gone. And the knee brace.
All right, I'm going to be right back, guys. 1 second.
Who took it? She called 911 yesterday. Viewer from Washington. Wonder if there's going to be anything out of it. I'm going to go take a picture. Yeah, this could be anyone that took it, but yeah, we got to let Jim know. I'm going to call Jim. Hold on. Let's call Jim. A minute. Let's find out if Jim did anything. All right. That's great news. Great breaking news. The pants are gone. Let me call. All right. Bring Jim in the chat. Jim. Let me see. See if he had anything to do with it. Exploring with Jim. Bring it in, exploring with Jim. Good morning. Can I bring you in the chat? Is it okay? Absolutely. All right. Exploring with Jim. We got some breaking news. Exploring with Jim. The pants are gone.
Wow, that's great.
The pants and the knee brace are gone.
Wow. Hopefully they're taking it seriously. Take it down to the lab and at least do a luminol test on those stains. You know, the pattern. It could be blood. Who knows? It could be blood because it's soaked from the top down. Someone with an upper body injury. Maybe it's nothing, but maybe it's really something.
Did you have anything to do with the pants? You didn't come back and take the pants, obviously, right? No.
I didn't take the pants. I just reported it. After you reported it, then I re-reported it to the desk sergeant who are working with the FBI, and he assured me that they had the information. So hopefully they finally got out there, because it was on the news. Someone sent me a screenshot of one of the local one of the local news sites had it on their news. It was on Ashley Banfield. She had it on her channel, and she was complaining about why JLR and Exploring with Jim found the pants and not the sheriff's department, because they're right across the
Actually,
street
let's
from
see
a
what
family member's
Ashley
house.
Banfield has to
So
say for
maybe
herself.
that pressure finally worked its way down to the crime scene investigators. So very interesting.
Starfish and Coffee say someone called Ellie yesterday and they picked it up. One of the viewers I called yesterday wanted the location and called 911 to say go get it, because she was kind of mad that they didn't go and get it based off your finding and us calling the 911, or I'm calling the sheriff's department. She's like, I'll call 911. We didn't call 911. I called the sheriff's office, but she just said, I'm calling 911.
I want to show you. You guys probably have seen
texted
this.
me back and said that she called 911 and reported it.
All right, let me show you Brianna Whitney. She's a reporter for the NBC. Brian Enton interviewed this forensic scientist. Let's put her on really quick. One second.
University.
You also
Sorry,
used
just
to
give me
work
a
in the
second
DPS
here.
crime lab.
That's correct. So I am a forensic serologist and DNA analyst with 23 years of experience working in government crime laboratories.
So you've seen it all.
The majority of it, yes, but there are still cases that still surprise. I am a professor of forensic science here at Arizona State University.
You also used to work in the DPS crime lab.
That's correct. So I am a forensic serologist and DNA analyst with 23 years of experience working in government crime laboratories.
So you've seen it all.
The majority of it, yes, but there are still cases that still surprise me to this day.
When it pertains to the Guthrie case specifically, and I know you've shown us now how to read the DNA, but talk to me about how difficult it might be for what they're looking at inside her home. We know it's mixed DNA, but we don't know what evidence that's coming off of, the item or perhaps something they found. So what's the challenge right now for those who are working on that mixed DNA?
There are several challenges. The first challenge is to identify an item of evidence inside that home that has a high likelihood of having the suspect's DNA on it. So if you have items from Miss Guthrie's home, we would expect to find her DNA on it. It's her home. So what we're looking for is an item that would have the suspect's DNA on it. And that's in an attempt to identify him. And so we want to find an item that has his DNA on it. We want to find an item that has a sufficient amount of DNA that we can utilize in the crime laboratory to get a result. And then when you have a mixture of DNA, ideally what we would want is to have enough of his DNA that we could generate a DNA profile to identify him. Several items that I would look at or have questions to the investigator. I have noticed that they haven't released a lot of information about how the suspect made entry into the home. So typically the point of entry is one of the areas we would look at to see if DNA had been left behind by the perpetrator, because sometimes they use tools to get into that home and to pry a door open, or they break a window to get in. Sometimes they're injured and they'll leave their DNA at the point of entry. So I would be curious to know the point of entry and if there was any sort of damage and any sort of biological fluids left there at that point of entry. In addition to that, depending on what transpired in that home, I would want to know what the scene looked like and if there were items that the investigators would have a good idea that the suspect may have handled or touched. I don't know if there was a struggle inside the home, if there was evidence of a struggle. And so there may be items that investigators may be able to identify that have a high likelihood that has the suspect's DNA on it.
Fluids, top tier for DNA, right?
Correct. So body fluids are very rich in DNA. So as you saw in this case, the first items of evidence that were DNA typed was a body fluid, blood, that is very rich in DNA, has a very good chance of giving a DNA result. And so that's why those items of evidence were worked first, as you would expect. In addition to that, that blood was right there at the threshold of that front door. And so you don't know if the suspect injured himself on the way in and that blood belonged to him, or if it belonged to the victim. And the only way you'd know that is when you DNA typed it. And all of those items came back to match the victim in this case.
So then you'd move on to touch DNA.
That's correct. So you'd move on to any other items or the second wave or the second group of items that may have the suspect's DNA on it.
Where does this all start?
So initially when evidence comes in, it's going to go through a serology examination. So serology is testing for body fluids. So depending on the nature of the case and what body fluids you suspect are present on an item of evidence, then we're going to do some initial testing. And that is what initially happened in any case that involves blood. So you do a preliminary blood test where you test that sample, and if it's positive for blood, that sample would then move on for DNA analysis. So depending on what type of case you're dealing with, whether that is a burglary or a sexual assault or a homicide, you'll have different items of evidence and different body fluids. So you're going to do that preliminary testing. And after you do that preliminary testing, you may end up going over to the microscope and looking to see what kind of cells you have present. We would do that first because if you have something that looks like blood, for example, I know that it's a common myth that if you had ketchup or something like that, we can clearly tell that that's not blood under a microscope. Not blood under a microscope. And you can tell that by looking under a microscope. But most people don't have a microscope to know. So we have these very quick chemical tests that will tell us very quickly if it's positive or negative, and then those samples are forwarded on for DNA analysis.
So that's what would have happened with the Guthrie case. The blood that was found on the front porch would have gone through this process.
Yes, it would have gone through a preliminary serology exam. That leads us into the 4 steps of DNA analysis. There are 4 general steps. The first one is we have to get the DNA out of the blood sample, for example.
Yeah.
And so we're going to use a kit like this that has chemicals in it where we are going to extract the DNA out of the sample. So this kit comes with all of the chemicals that you need. And so what this does is, if you remember back to your biology class from high school, the cell is made up of fat with protein and DNA and RNA. Well, we want to get rid of all of those parts of the cell and just keep the DNA. So these chemicals would break open those cells, release the contents, and we would get rid of everything. And we would take that DNA sample and we would filter it through. And what we're left with at the very end in this filtered sample is a DNA sample. So we have to figure out how much did we get. So we're going to use an instrument where we figure out how much DNA.
What's this called?
This is called a Quant Studio, and this is used to determine how much DNA. And you would put your samples in this tray. Into this, we would put your DNA sample, and we would figure out how much DNA did we get out of it.
And is that a number? Is that like
it's a number?
2 or 4? What kind of number are we talking?
It is a very high-tech number. So this is a very high-tech way of figuring out how much DNA. And just to give you a reference, we work with very small amounts of DNA. We typically like to have at least 1 nanogram of DNA. That's 1 times 10 to the negative 6. That's a very, very small
yeah,
amount.
I don't even know what that
very, very
number
small
is.
amount of DNA. It's tiny, tiny, tiny amounts of DNA. And so that's why we can get DNA profiles from skin cells. And so we're dealing with very small amounts. And so then the third step, after we figure out how much DNA, we want to copy the DNA out of the evidence. And we're going to use little tubes like this. This is called a thermal cycler. And this is a very fancy instrument that what it does is it heats and cools. And the reason it heats and cools is we use an enzyme that copies DNA at very specific areas where we know people are different.
Yeah.
And the kits that we use are designed against those areas where we know people are different. We don't want to copy all of your DNA. We don't want to copy the parts that everybody has that tells you to have 2 eyes and 2 ears and a nose. No, there are specific areas within our DNA that are called short tandem repeats, or STRs. And this is where people are different. And this is how we can take a sample and generate a DNA profile and tell it apart from any other sample.
So what are those things that are different?
So let me show you what those are. I have them on my computer. So the areas in a crime laboratory that we look at are areas of DNA that have this pattern. And if you notice, can you see the 4 base pattern where it says CATG, and they're blocked out here in different colors? And you can see that they're repeated over and over and over again. So they're So they're called STRs because they're short, they're tandem, which means they're right next to each other, and they're repeated over and over. And
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I've heard STR testing for years, and I didn't know exactly what that was.
Yes.
So this is interesting.
And we have, all of us have areas of our DNA where we all have a different number of repeats. And so that is how I'm able to tell your DNA apart from mine, for example.
So you get the STR.
We get the STR results, yes.
And then what?
And then this is what the data looks like. So when we look at the data, first of all, this is what a DNA profile looks like. This is actually a mixture of DNA. And this is a profile generated during our research. And those areas of where the STRs are the addresses up here in these boxes. So that D stands for DNA, and I can enlarge this if you'd like.
Sure,
Let's take a look. Let me scroll down just a little bit. So see up here, it says D3S1358.
Yep.
That's like an address. That means DNA on chromosome 3, site 1358. It's like an address. And it's an address for scientists. What you see here is under each one of these boxes, if you have DNA from one person, the maximum number of peaks you're going to see is 2. One from mom and one from dad. But then notice here, I have 2 really tall peaks, and then I have this really tiny peak.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I know that I have a mixture of DNA. And the really strong peaks here is the person who donated the majority of DNA. And the really short peaks is the person who donated a very small amount of DNA.
So often are you looking for the small amount?
Very often. Very often. And so this is what we talk about when we talk about mixtures is how many people are in the mixture, and how much DNA did each person contribute. And notice, because you have a difference in the height of the peaks, you can tell them apart very quickly, can't you?
Yeah.
By looking at it. But if each person donated 50%, the peak heights are going to be roughly similar. So being able to pull out profiles becomes very, very difficult. And so that is what lends the complexity to mixture analysis.
Okay, we'll switch it over. Looks like he's on the ride over there. Just a second.
Actually speak since this.
I'll have to reach out to Mark the Shark.
I never heard him speak before. I don't think Tommaso's involved, though. I don't think he's involved. I don't think so. People in the chat do. I don't think he's involved.
Okay, I guess we're headed over to El Charro. If Grandma Ladybug 60 is correct.
Kay Miller, thank you for the 20 gifted memberships. Very grateful for that. Kay Miller. Stonehouse, Kay Miller. All right, we're rolling out. Roll out. I'll call Mark the Shark just to make sure he's going to the right address. Hello. 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 Yeah, are you going to El Charro? Yeah, it's the downtown one. All right, yeah, I just saw you turn left. Some people are like maybe thinking that you were going to the wrong one. Oh, okay. See you down there. I'm just gonna park somewhere and walk around out there a little bit. All right, bye-bye. He's on his way. He turned around. He put the wrong address in. Oh, look at IHOP. It's an IHOP. Pancakes. El Charro Cafe. Mexican restaurant. The feds there last week, allegedly. Quizzing employees at the El Charro. A frequent spot for Nancy and Savannah. Jim is like in California already. El Charro. That's interesting. That is very, very interesting that Tommaso came out on Mark. You need to leave now, please. What would you do if somebody came in front of your house and started taking pictures at your house? Would you just call the police? Would you come out and confront the person and ask them, hey, who are you? What are you doing? If someone went to your house and started taking pictures and videos and standing out there.
Okay, so they're on their way to El Charro. Wonder how much further they got till they get there. Let's see. What else is going on? We had the Brittany one. Wonder how much further they have till they get there.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy. I like him. I saw him yesterday afternoon a little bit when I came back. He was out here with his umbrella. All right, we are approximately 5 minutes from El Charro. 6 minutes. From El Charro. 6 minutes from El Charro. Running out of coffee. Oh. Got some food last night, and when I walked out, there was a Tucson couple that said JLR, and I don't know, they were wearing some costumes. I don't know, they were some sort of costume event or something like that. They're like, hey, we've been watching, and the guy it was a husband and wife, and the husband told me that he works at a business in the corner of Skyline and Campbell, in those shops there by the Starbucks. And he said, I work there. And he said, feds came in there asking for surveillance. He said about 6 days or something. He said after this happened, he said the feds were there asking the business that he works at for surveillance footage, suspicious surveillance footage. He said he didn't have any, but he said that they came there. It was a business. And the way he said it was they were asking every business there in that complex. I believe it was across the street from the Starbucks and the CVS. On the other side, on the corner of Skyline and Campbell going south. There's a bunch of businesses in there. So the feds were inquiring about footage in that complex, and he works there. Tucson. See, what I was saying is once you come down to Tucson, homelessness is really, really bad down here. People hauling luggage and carts. It's really bad down here. We're 3 minutes away from El Charro. There's also a train up ahead. With the train. One thing I noticed about Tucson too is the trains come through and block the roads. Train coming. Choo choo. Look at the train. Cargo trains. We're at Speedway in Main Street. Here we go. Speedway in Main Street. All right, we're gonna have to wait for the train to come through. Oh yeah, the train's still coming through. Amazon boxes. Ding 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 ding.
Okay, we should be at El Charro here very shortly. He said about 5 minutes. We should be here very soon. This is going to be interesting. So, we got to wait for a freight train. Show you guys this where we're headed.
I have to cross this in order to get to El Charro. We're almost there at El Charro.
So this is where we're headed, El Charro. Been around for 100 years.
I'll leave. Huh? Just get in the road. I will.
We're just waiting to cross.
This is brutal. It's going to take forever. I've been in freight trains where they go forward, they stop, and they start going backwards. I got Google Earth up too. We could search some of the cars in January and February in the parking lot. I don't know if anybody still has the blue Malibu or the white Kia, if they still think those are the cars. I mean, law enforcement hasn't told us anything, so it's very frustrating. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm going to do that when I hop off the live stream. Is this thing slowed to a complete stop right now? Guy's trying to reverse. Look at this. Freight trains are the worst. Look at it. It's a double stacker freight train.
Oh, his patience ran thin. His patience has ran thin. That car right there, he's like, nope, I'm out of here, man. I'm out. Oh, look, he should have been patient. The train is coming to an end. He should have been patient.
Great. He should have been patient.
See what I'm saying? He just turned around and now the train is gone. You should have just waited another 15 seconds, dude. Some people aren't patient enough to wait an additional 15 seconds.
That would have been me.
He turned around like, I'm out of here. And look, the train is gone. Opening for business.
Oh, that's great. Okay, let's go to the bigger screen. Get my ugly face out of the way.
Here we go. You should have been more patient. And they go around, they're probably wasting another 5-10 minutes of their time taking a route where there's no train. All right, so I'm making a left up here on St. Mary's.
All right, here we go. The exit interview. He's been out here for a long time. What's up, Stacks?
Almost at El Charo.
What up? My friends. Stacks, you just missed it. There was a very impatient person, and there's a freight train, and they turned around right when the freight train passed. It was so funny.
Who's in that SUV? Looks like a celebrity or something to be in there.
That was good. That would have been me turning around, pissed off too.
Take a slight right onto North Church Avenue.
We're almost at El Charo.
What time is it over there? It's got to be 2 hours behind where I'm at. It's got to be 8:59 over there.
Then you'll take a slight right to stay on North Church Avenue.
You get a breakfast burrito.
Where's North Church Avenue?
See their hours. El Charo hours.
All right, looks like El Charo's right around here somewhere.
They're closed. They open at 11.
Take a slight right to stay on North Church Avenue.
They're closed.
Then you'll take your first right onto West Franklin Street.
I think he is, yeah. But they're closed right now. They're not gonna. Maybe he'll just. I don't know. It says they're closed.
West Franklin Street. Then you'll turn left onto North Court Avenue.
Pretty city.
Oh, El Charo. Got it. Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, do you know, Stacks, do you know if they're still looking for the blue Malibu or white Kia? Because I was going to pull up Google Earth and look at it as of 2025, January.
Will be on the right.
Yep, the building's right there.
It's closed.
Yeah, it's closed. But we have the Google Maps where we can look at to see what cars were parked in the parking lot.
Turn left onto North Meyer Avenue. Then you'll take your first left onto West Council Street.
All right, made it. Bear with me. folks. We're gonna walk around out here in El Charo. Make sure my doors are locked. It looks kind of a sketchy area.
Oh, come on.
All right, folks. We're back.
Yeah, the FBI interviewed a few of the waiters and waitresses, or the waiters there, a couple days ago. It's been around for 100 years.
Homeless up there, all over the place. All right, folks. I'm at Court Avenue in Franklin Street.
No, that's it. Just the feds. If you go to the New York Post, I read an article earlier just that they were quizzing some of the people that were there. Brian Enton was there.
Downtown Tucson. Big cacti. I think this is downtown.
Well, he's doing this. I might even just.
Downtown Tucson.
Yeah, let's. I do have Google Maps. Do you think they're still looking for a white Kia? Because the parking
There it
lot is full on Google Earth. We could look through the parking lot real quick.
The famous El Charo restaurant. Oh, there's Mark. Mark made it before me. Every Sunday we got brunch.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Sunday brunch. The El Charo. They got a payphone here. No, I'm okay. All right. He's out. The El Charo.
Do we know any cars they're looking for still or no?
Might join him back at Nancy's.
All right, well, he goes back to Nancy's. Let's do this. Here's El Charo's on Google Earth. I don't know what we're looking for here. There's when they're open, right? I don't know if they're still looking for that white Kia. Could it be a worker that works there? I don't know. It's a long shot. I'm just looking around. Do they make the workers park a little further away for all we know? Yeah. Check for the Kia. I know that. Yeah, that was my only thing. What I'm thinking about doing right now. Just go around the parking lot real quick. Employees usually have to park away, right? Let's keep going around. Since it's closed, I would still be on his channel, but I might as well just. Is that a Kia? What is that? No, that's like a. So I don't know why I can never figure out what a Kia is. What is that thing right there? That white. Can anybody see what I'm looking at there? That white SUV looks similar. They have brunch at 10 a.m. at El Charo. I don't know what Jeanette's talking about. Sorry, Jeanette. I don't understand what you're talking about. Let's go around this way. Kia. No, that's not a Kia. My butt, I think. Let's go up north and it'll let us turn now. Let me just see. See here, anything? That looks like a black Kia. No, nothing there. Let's keep going a little bit down. You know how employees have to park like far away, maybe. This is from January 2025, so at least it's a little bit current. And I don't see anything going down here. Let's see. Just go one loop around, hoping I get anybody sick. That's on the back part. No, they wouldn't tell them to park that far probably back. Probably just. What do we got here? A little Toyota. Is that a Toyota? Yeah, Toyota. Let's go around the side real quick. Ugh. Trying to get down this road. I don't know if it'll let me wait. Some guy hanging out. Nothing. I don't really see too much. Park a mile away. Yeah. Yeah, that's smart. It could go around the back to see. Let me just check out one more thing because I don't know if I'm going to be sitting around for 2 hours while we wait to open up because the FBI was already there. Brian Enton was there. What do we got over here? Nothing here. We can go back to his page. I just don't. How do we know it was a white Kia too? With like it just because it looked white because there was a flash. State Bar, Arizona. Oh, let's go in the back of the building real quick, and then we'll go back on his channel. But I got a shovel, 24 inches of snow here, so let me go back to the front of El Charlo. El Charlo. Whoa. Take me to El Charro. Let's go, dude. Drop the little man down to El Charro. Oh. 1 second. Sorry, guys. You guys just zoom in. I just want to go in back of the restaurant real quick and see if there's any cars parked there. And if not, we can. JLR was going to go in there and start talking. All right, let's go to the back. Make sure we're not missing anything. Double check, guys. Let's just see one last check. See, let me see. JLR is just. I just checked his channel. He's kind of just floating around the back. When that's a different restaurant, right? Yeah, I don't see anything. That was a shot in the dark, anyways. We kind of knew it. Take one more spin around. El Charo. Oh, we got a dog. Let's check out the dog. What's the dog doing? Nothing. No keys, guys. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it was white. Yeah, I can't find. Let's see what JLR is doing. I don't know. It looks like we're kind of at a dead end, especially if they're not open till 11. It's two, and he's 2 hours behind.
FBI, folks. So, according to news reports, the FBI was quizzing employees here about the Nancy Guthrie case. Recently, quizzing employees at the El Charo Mexican restaurant. Why? Why employees here? Because Savannah and Nancy were doing a segment here prior? Or is there something more of something more? Why would they come here over 30 days later from when this alleged kidnapping happened? Authorities say that Nancy was kidnapped out of her home February 1st. Months prior to that, Savannah and Nancy went here to do a segment in local Tucson vibe here.
Wonder if we could go back, actually.
To the El Charo, to the kidnapping.
Stacks, I wonder if we could go
El
back,
Charo, what we found out recently,
like, to 2024 and see who's parked there. I don't know how boring it would be for everyone.
so it was advertised. Could it been a stalker that came to this?
I'm going to look
location?
right now while you guys are watching this. I'm going
That
to go
wanted
back
to see Savannah and Nancy in person, or
back in time.
Savannah
2024. Let's
saw
go back.
How Savannah and her mom loved each other and was like, I'm gonna do something to her mom. Or is there something else? Or are we talking about a cook here, an employee here, someone here that they're saying maybe could have done it from here, this location?
Shoot, I think I see a Kia. Hold on.
What do you think? El Charo opens in a couple hours. Not open yet. El Charo. Segment was in November of 2025. Just a couple months prior.
1 second. Let me while JLR is waiting for open, let's go back to no, the Kia that I don't know, they said they saw a white Kia. Let's go back to the year of 2024 for a second. So we did 2025. Let's just check the parking lot to see the employee parking lot in 2024 real quick. Do you know the actual date? I can only do January 2025, and then I can go 2024. Let me see. Okay, we'll go back around the restaurant too. Hold on. I can't get down the street. Let me see if I can over here. Is that a Malibu right there, or is that a PT Cruiser? A PT Cruiser. I don't see any Kias. What was that? That's not a Kia, right? There's no Kias. Am I losing my mind? There's no Kias here, right, guys? Well, October 2025. We're at right now. We are 2024. The one before that I searched was January 2025. It won't let you go between that, unfortunately. I'm gonna go around the back. Sorry if I'm getting you guys nauseous. I think I'm getting myself sick doing this. Why can't I get in behind the place? Man, I got to go around the other side. Meanwhile, JLR is just waiting for the place to open. So I'm doing this. So there's nothing around here. We looked. We did the full circle here. There's no Kias. Okay, let's just go in the back real quick. I'm not going to puke from this screen. Oh, there's the Kia just parked right there. No, I'm kidding. I can't get down that back here. Wait, let me try to zoom out. Hold on. Go up here for a minute. Just now it's behind us. I'm just trying to see if anything. Nothing that way. All right. Same car there from a year ago. Just see, we might as well just go back one more. Just check this date and go behind it since we're already here. I don't see anything. 2023. I think a CRV. Yeah, there's nothing. Let me see. Franklin, we'll check one more thing and then we'll probably have to bow out. Ugh, what just happened? Uh-oh, what is that, guys? What is this? That's not a Kia, right, guys? Guys, is that a Kia? This is from 2023. Is that a Kia? A white Kia right here. Let me take a picture of that. I don't even know what a Kia looks like. This is from 2023. Let me see the front of it. I don't know if someone in the chat could tell me. Not a big Kia guy. Let me see. Where the hell did Kia go? That was weird. Oh, wait, it changed the date on me. Wait. Shoot. Did you guys see that white car? Was that a Kia? Yes, that was a Kia Soul. Okay. I'm not sure how. Let me try to find it again. I don't know where it went. Just give me a second. Let's go back. It changed it on me. That's weird. Wait. I was able to get a picture of it. No, so this is before. Wait. There it is. Now he's parking far away from the restaurant, right? Because employees are told to park away, right? I don't know if you guys want to take a screenshot of that. I mean, I have no clue. I don't know if I can get a front view of this though without it going weird. Let's take another. I mean, it could be anybody's, but let's just keep it. I'll save it. See, it changes it to April 29th of 2019. Let me see if I can get back to the date. Yeah, I don't know. It disappears. It keeps switching dates on me. All right, so I took a okay, cool. I took a screenshot. Let me just type it in the chat for everybody. So that was Jan or no, that was what let's see what was that? February. One second. I'm gonna go right back to the have you one more time so I can get the exact date and time of it. Okay, it's right up here. It disappears because it's the wrong date. Wait. So if you turn here and you go here and you turn around and you go back to there it is. Okay. I'm gonna put this whole thing in the chat. So this is a long time ago though. So wait, let's try it again. All right, it's a long shot, but if you I don't know, I'll just save that. So if you go to, out of curiosity, if you do 270 North Church, so it's at 270 North Church. Date. It's from 4 years ago, though. Here, just to document it, okay? So I just documented that. So we have that 270 North Church date 2022, which is a white Kia, Google Earth. I mean, it's a long shot, but when we check the parking lot, employees are told to park far away. Kind of 4 years ago. Typically, people that work at restaurants work there for a long time, though. So that's all I got for you guys today, if that's cool. I got to sign off and I got a lot of shoveling to do. You guys have a good rest of the week. We'll be on at 8 p.m. tonight, Central Time. Thanks, everybody. See you, Rebby. Yep, see you guys tonight.